Okay, we'll start the session now. Hello, everyone. Very good morning and welcome to the it's a demo on the generative AI. So yeah, I will let you know. I will share my screen and we'll start with what are the things first and what are the tools we are going to cover and what is the course duration and all. So you can on the session itself, you can have any questions you can ask me. So let me share my screen and let's start the session. This is a brief intro about myself. I have completed my post-graduation from IM and on the analyticals and data sciences. And then I have 10 plus years of experience in .NET development and cloud computing. I have working with different type of technologies, not only .NET, as I have worked with a few of the applications with artificial intelligence and a few of the different type of products I was developing for myself. I have a few ideas and I was developing few products on artificial intelligence and machine learning. And also I was trained around 25 plus batches on different type of technologies, not only on the AI and other data analytical related. So I was able to teach them on .NET, on cloud computing, on cyber security, on artificial intelligence, on machine learning. Yeah, we have data analytics and data sciences. So I have trained kind of different tools with around 25 plus batches. And upskilling the programs every time based on the whatever the latest technologies are available. So yeah, so this is just a brief intro about myself, and this is the session overview, where in this maybe 6 to 10 minutes we'll explore what is the Python workflows required to create an artificial intelligence system or machine learning system. So you need to understand what are the best things. So in this demo session, we just cover few points on what exactly required for this particular machine learning and AI things, and including we have a different type of tools where in Python we have that Python essentials for AI. For example, coming to this particular point, so we have to understand pandas, NumPy, object-oriented principles, and API integrations. So pandas and NumPy are the basics, and every program, for example, if you go with C, C++, Java, .NET, anything, object-oriented programming is necessary. So these object-oriented programming principles are required, and then we'll go with pandas, NumPy, and anyone knows about API in the team, in the current joining people? Have you like work with API, or you know how API works? What is API? No. Okay. So API is nothing but it's an application interface where it act like a bridge between the data and the front end. So we will create some APIs and like the open AI. So everyone is now talking about ChatGPT and other things. So that is developed by OpenAI. So that OpenAI is having their own API, where the API will be used, and that API can be integrated into any kind of system. If you suppose, if you are developed in one GPT model, so you can also buy that API from the OpenAI and integrate into your system. So that is one strategy what we are doing in Python Essentials. And coming to machine learning, we can have the Scikit-learn, and that is for different kind of predicting the models. So for the predicting the models, you have to come with the data where you have to take the data sets, and you have to pre-process the data, and you have to then you have to understand the what kind of uh, algorithms you have to apply. So that thing you can do with in scikit-learn. And also uh, I have a few different softwares called Orange and Vika. I will show you in the at the end of the session. So those two are the tools that nobody else in the outside the organizations will work on. So that's a low code no code environments. That's for better understanding. So how you people able to achieve the same kind of techniques using low code no code environment. So first of all, you can see how it is responding, and then you can apply the same in the scikit-learn. So that's a different story on machine learning. And deep learning with TensorFlow, where we can talk about neural networks. And yeah, we have the separate slides for everything. So we'll come to that neural network part in the next slides maybe. And generative AI, we can talk about LLMs, chatbots, and real world use cases. So how the real world use cases are working for in the generative AI. We can also talk about GPT and other things. So overall outcome of this entire course would be like you have to understand the Python skills to apply intelligent AI systems. That intelligent AI systems can resolve the real world problems, statements, or scenarios, whatever you call it. And coming to the core Python, we have to understand the Python basically, first of all, to clean and cleanse the data. So where you have to apply the data pre-process things. So here for that, you can go with the Python programming. And for the Python programming, to develop a modern AI, so first of all, you have to understand the fundamentals. So the fundamentals, in that fundamentals, you will have the uh, object-oriented programming, and then we'll talk about functions, we'll talk about classes, we'll talk about efficient coding, how you need to efficiently code at the Python syntaxes. So these are the Python fundamentals. And coming to the data structures, where we will have the list, tuple, dictionaries, and sets, different type of data types. So where we'll explore these data types. And also we can use the optimal performances. So optimizing the performance, how we are going to optimize the performance with the data structures. And in advanced concepts, we can also cover as I mentioned, object oriented programming, that is oops concepts. And also how you are handling the exceptions and regular expressions. So these are the essentials for Python. So where you have to just get some understanding on it. So how the system is working. So this is entirely for Python developers. If you are interested in the Python development, yeah, you can explore more into this particular advanced concepts. And basic essential libraries for Python is like where we can go with NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn. So these four are basic essentials for understanding the Python. Like first step on data pre-process step. So you have to get these libraries understandable. So these are the main data, like essentials for entire Python core Python system. So why NumPy? NumPy is having like anyone here work with NumPy pandas? Sorry, I can't see the chat. If you people are okay, you can. unmute yourself and let me know if you are good in this NumPy or Pandas or whatever. Yeah, okay, I will take it as no and will proceed. So in the essentials, like whatever the libraries I taught, NumPy, everyone is talks about in NumPy. It's for ND arrays and other concepts. But for my understanding, I will more focus the NumPy on math and stat functions because we have so many mathematical and statistic functions. So where you have to understand the stat models before you deep diving into the NumPy. And the pandas is for manipulation, where you have to uh, clean the data and you have to remove the null values. You have to extract the data from different type of sources where we have the CSV files, Excel files, SQL files. So there are so many different type of files. The pandas is nothing but you have to uh, engage with the data. So for the data, where you are collecting the data. So for example, I can take as Kaggle as an example. So from the Kaggle, you can find out different type of data sets, and you can manipulate the data using pandas. And also Matplotlib and Seaborn. I have mentioned only Matplotlib here, where we can also discuss on Seaborn. So this is for data visualization. So these visualizing data that you can go with different type of graphical representations, right? For example, scatter plot, bar plot, histogram, and so many different plots, line plot. We have so many different plots. So using those plots, you can able to understand how data is working on the past few years, or if you have the data for particularly different type of product, so you can understand how the data is working for different type of products. So these things you can do it in the Python. So coming to SQL. So in the SQL, we'll go with database foundations. So how many of you know already SQL? Like if you are having a CSE background, you will definitely know about RDBMS or a DBMS, database management systems. It may be RDBMS or PBMS. It's a relational database or a normal database. So this SQL is also an essential for the AI systems because the data should be stored here. So, so data is the fuel for AI systems. So not only AI systems, coming future, data is the next fuel because fuel is very costly. So as data as well. So data is can be stored in SQL, where you can find out that SQL is nothing but structured query language, where that is stored in tabulary format. Like we will have the columns, we will have the rows, we will have the each row will have all the different columns what we have had. It might have the null values as well. So this is what SQL, like structured query language, works. But unstructured query language, let's say JSON is one of the example. So JSON is nothing but JavaScript object notation. So where we will work with JSON. So that JSON is in a different structure. It doesn't have the rows. It doesn't have the columns. It only have the key value page. So that is unstructured data, and this is structured data. So coming to the database, what we will learn from the database. So you have to first understand what is the SQL syntaxes, and using those syntaxes, how you are getting the data and all. And then we'll go with basic queries. So the queries are nothing but select statement, where clause, order by. So these are the basic queries. This order by is also you can use it in the pandas. In the pandas also you can do the same order by, group by. So you can take some group of group of data sets, like group from the data set you can find out a group. Let's say, for example, if you have the city as Hyderabad, so you can group it by Hyderabad. So entire Hyderabad will have one group in that particular data set what you have collected. And then you can go with some aggregate functions like count, sum, average, group by. So these are also aggregate functions. And then you can use joins, and then you can use subqueries. So these are the things where we can teach you on the SQL level. So where you have to understand. But also, we have stored procedures, but that is not essential for here, because Python doesn't handle with the stored procedures. Where other programming languages, for example, if you are a developer, if you are developing something, if you are working with different type of technologies like .NET, Java, even Python also in advanced level, the stored procedures will come. So that is also one of the thing where in SQL we can just get a brief on it. So how the stored procedure works and all. So these are the things from the SQL module. So where we can uh, understand the database foundation to the advanced techniques. And coming to machine learning. So till SQL, do you have any questions? Okay, I will take it as no. Okay, we'll go to the machine learning. So here in the machine learning, we have so many different type of things. First, you have to understand. So in the foundation level, you have to understand what is supervised and unsupervised learning. So you know that what is supervised and unsupervised. No idea. Supervised is nothing but labeled, unsupervised is nothing but unlabeled data. So yeah, we'll discuss that in deep once we started our course. So supervised versus unsupervised, and also how you are going to split the data, like training and testing, and also we'll go with overfitting, underfitting, and we can do the cross validations. So we have to do a lot of things in ML foundation level. So first of all, you have to understand some theory part on it, what is supervised and what is unsupervised, and how the training versus testing will work, and other things. And then based on that, we'll go with the framework basics. So this is for coding level, and I told you, right? So where we also get some understanding on low code, no code environment before we entering into the coding. So for that, we have two different tools called Orange and Weka. So first, we can take some understanding from those two softwares, where we can find out. You have to first understand whether it is a classification model or a clustering model, and then you can go with the classifications and clustering techniques, where we can talk about if in the classification we'll talk about uh, different type of models like KNN, navy base, a tree structure like random forest, and some other algorithms on that classification level. And coming to the clustering, so where in the clustering we'll go with k-means cluster, db scan, and hierarchical clustering. So these are the clustering techniques you can use, and uh, understand those environments. And coming to the frameworks basics, where once you got some understanding on all these theory parts and low code, no code environment, then we'll enter into the frameworks. So where we will use TensorFlow and Keras. So these are also required for the machine learning. So using scikit-learn, Keras, and TensorFlow, you have to understand these three frameworks, how to build and deploy the ML models efficiently. So once you develop the framework, then we'll talk about the whatever the core algorithms I was talked already, algorithms related, where for the predictions we'll go with the classification, and we'll go with regression models. We'll have the regression analysis, and also we'll go with the decision tree for interpretable models. So the decision trees are nothing but the random forest J48. So these all comes under a tree structure. So this decision trees will work on particularly on this core algorithms. And coming to the advanced methods, where we'll go with k-means clustering. That's the clustering techniques. So where clustering. So you have to form a cluster. So you have to understand what is outlier, and once you have to understand all these things, you can able to get some understand, get at least 50% of machine learning. You can able to achieve it via these four things what I have mentioned here, like foundation, and also we'll talk about low code no code environment, framework basics, core algorithms, and advanced methods. So using these four, you'll able to understand at least 50 to 60% of machine learning. Then you have to put your efforts, and that means you have to train yourself, or you have to go and pick your data set and practice yourself. So you have to give more practice on machine learning. So even machine wants that, because if you are taking a data set and if you are trying to build an AI system, so that first itself it will not give you a 90% or 95% of correct predictions. So it will give you correct predictions, maybe initially 70% or 60% based on the data you have selected. And if the data is too worst, it will give two worst results. So that you have to understand. So for example, here predicting house price to classify images, we have so many different type of classification related and prediction related like examples. I can give you one of the example, that whether the person is loan worthy or not. So for example, I just want to create a system where that system can predict if a new person come here, and I have a bank, so come to that bank and ask for the loan. I will just to understand whether he can repay the loan or not. So for that, I have an AI system. That AI system, if I provide him, if I provide the AI the customer details, it will fetch the customer old details, like for example, when he is having any additional loans, past he has a few of the loans are not paid on time, and his CIBIL score is not good, and he also having a lot of uncertainty in their work. So for example, he is not working in the company more than an year or less than an year, and he is shifting the companies, and he is waiting for 3-4 months for that to shift the organization. So these are the clauses I can take, and based on that, can I provide him a loan or not? So that's a system we can have. And also we can, if it is in the banking system itself, we can go with another kind of application, that like predicting, so loan worthy or not. So this is maybe yes or no kind of things, like that is a boolean kind of variable we are expecting. So that is what the classification do. So the classification problems will mostly work on this kind of yes or no systems. And also coming to the another banking example where we can find out the transaction is fraudulent or not, is fraud or not. So that fraud or not kind of, and also predicting loan worthy or not. So these are the examples for classification problems where you can uh, understand, you can collect the different type of data and train your model on on that particular data and give you a new user details, and it should predict exactly. So that's the system machine learning and AI systems work on this kind of approach. And coming to the deep learning, where we'll talk about neural networks. So the neural networks are nothing but it's a brain mimicking systems. So we talk about neural networks where we can talk about this neural networks also can find like neurons. So where in the brain, in our brain itself, uh, we have the neurons. So this entire neural network is a kind of where it will have the different type of activation functions. Using on that activation functions, back propagation and will achieve the brain mimicking system. So for example, brain mimicking system is nothing but brain can have multiple neurons that will also like that will do some parallel, it will do some so many works, like it can see, it can smell, it can taste, like these are the different type of these are the different type of neurons we have to get some understanding on what you have smelled. So the brain will uh, get that smell, or any other organ in our body will get the smell, and the brain will pass something to talk about it. So where this neural network will also have the same kind of thing, where it have the multiple inputs and multiple middlewares and one output. So where these three things like inputs and outputs, using these things, we can able to understand the neural network fundamentals. And then we can coming to the CNNs, and then we can have the in the CNNs, and after that we will have the activation functions, where one of the ReLU is one of the good activation function where we can apply. So this is for deep learning. You have to do this deep learning because it will useful for image recognition and natural language processing, and it will be like uh, if suppose for example if you take the GPT models, the current GPT models like chat GPT or Gen AI or any other model, you will write like every person can write like their own text, right? So maybe you can write something. If I ask for example, if I want to ask a question, I can ask it like uh, what is the weather, and someone can ask in a different scenario, like I have here a cloudy weather, can I expect a rain? So the two different prompting, so the prompting, we'll talk about the prompt engineering in the next slide. But coming back to this slide, so here what I'm telling you is like this natural language processing. So whatever the natural language you can speak with someone else, you can directly speak with that GPT. So for that for that kind of achievement, you need to go with this deep learning. So this deep learning is having so many different implementations. But if you are a fresher, we don't need to deep dive into this deep learning. But this deep learning is one of the thing where we can understand basic of neural networks, NLPs, and image recognitions. And also, there is a model called DALI. Everyone talk about GPT, but there is a model called DALI. So that is included in every GPT models like ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, and other systems. So they are integrated this DALI. So that DALI is the model which develops an images. So if you ask a GPT, ChatGPT, or if you ask a Copilot to create an image on this, so it will create an image. But the image will be created from DALI, not from the GPT model what we have seen. So that GPT model is integrated with the DALI. The DALI is a API. So this is how we'll go with this deep learning. And coming to the prompt engineering. So yeah, as I previously told you, prompting is one of the crucial skill. So because the prompt can change the output from the GPT model. So if I write something different, that will give a different answer. It will if I ask a different question here, and then the AI changes, and it will give a different answer. So the prompting is very much required here, because if you are if you are if you want to unlock the full potentials of LLMs and GPT models, and or chatbots, even chatbots are also be in the same case. So for this, the prompt engineering is very important. So based on the prompt, whatever you have provided, so that prompt can be uh, give the best responses. So here you can see the prompt types and best practices. So what you have to do prompting. So how you can prompt it, and different type of prompting techniques. We can discuss on those things. And content generation. So in the content generation, we'll talk about documentation. So how you are documenting, and how you are creatively writing, and more things. And the developer tools will have the GitHub Copilot. So yeah, maybe everyone in the current session knows about Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini, and maybe other AI tools, but they haven't used GitHub Copilot. Or anyone from you people have already used GitHub Copilot? Because every other GPT models are coming with a free of cost, but GitHub Copilot is not. So this developer tools are nothing but it's a GitHub Copilot where we can use that for accelerating the code. So for example, in the GitHub Copilot, you can give a prompt, and based on that prompt, it will design an application from scratch. It will give you a framework. It will give you a different type of solutions, so that you can directly integrate into your whatever. I will use Visual Studio. So whatever the tool you are using, so in the Visual Studio itself, if I go with GitHub Copilot, and if I go to enter some prompt, and based on that prompt, if the GitHub generates some code, in the final step, I have one line of thing that include into our solution. So we can directly include into our solution by one click, so that it will be that folder or that file, or whatever the couple of files, or whatever it is, having 50 of files, 50 files in that folder. So everything you can include into your solution, and you can rewrite that. So this is the thing. The prompt engineering is very important. Why? Because this is the reason. So if you are working with coding, if you are working with any content creation, or writing some documentations. So your prompt is important here to understand the GPT model. What is your expectation? So based on that prompt, it will provide you the best outputs. And here in the chat GPT, we'll talk about uh, how millions interactions with AI, and how the GPT model is going to evaluate. So mostly the chat GPT, the term is more used from 2023, right? So from the past 2 years, the GPT version now, today, GPT version is 5.0. So we have upgraded five different solutions, or five different versions, in just a kind of matter of 2 years. So that helps you, that understands that how million people are interacting with AI, and how they are doing their things with ChatGPT. So here in the ChatGPT, what we are getting some understanding. So we will do the daily and business application. So that daily and business applications will involve how you are going to summarize this meeting, and I can ask the GPT model that create an email for this particular thing. So these are the daily and business related applications examples where we can interact with the GPT model and see how it is working. And also coding and automation, where for that also chat GPT will give a good code, but again that is not 100% a clean and 100% correct code. We can't tell that directly. So if I generate some code from the chat GPT, yeah, we can generate a code, and that code can be utilized in our application. And also automation, where we can talk about testing, and other automation tools where we can automate the systems. So those things we can achieve via chat GPT. So where in the automation thing, where we can discuss about uh, for example, this automation is nothing but you can see that you can ask GitHub Copilot or ChatGPT different questions. So you can see the differences from the what is the responses from ChatGPT and what is the response from GitHub Copilot. If I ask ChatGPT to generate a code, it will just generate a code. But when it comes to the GitHub Copilot, if I ask the GitHub Copilot to generate a code, it will generate uh, multiple files of code, and also it will create few of the test cases. It will create those test cases also. So the test cases you can go and utilize them. So how it is going to do all these things, because it's already having the necessary data included in, maybe in the chat GPT, or maybe in the GitHub Copilot, or maybe in Copilot, anything. We have already included the necessary data into those GPT models, and also it will explain you the complex algorithms. If I ask a question, if, for example, you don't know about any of the algorithms, as we mentioned in the machine learning. So let's say you have asked what is KNN and explain me in a KNN very detailed manner. If you ask the same question to the chat GPT, it will provide you the details on KNN. So KNN is nothing but K nearest neighbors. It will deal with the neighbors, neighboring points, and capture the data. And based on that, it will form a cluster. So the clusters are different in those cluster analysis and this KNN. This is a separate story. So if it is the nearest neighbors, how many nearest neighbors we have to compare. So for that comparison, it will form a cluster. So it will explain you all these things. And also fine tuning and optimization, where we can fine tune whatever you have. For example, I know what email I have to draft for this particular things. I have drafted that email, and I will ask that fine tune this email using a modern language, or using a professional language. So whatever you need, so you can ask the fine tuning. So fine tuning and optimization, so that this will be also be useful via ChatGPT. And coming to generative AI, we have Gen AI evolutions. We already talked about Gen AI evolution. So how it is evaluating from the past 2 years, and fine tuning of transformer. So transformer fine tuning, like how it is adapting pre-trained models and specific tasks, domains, and industries with transfer learning. So how it is transferring all these things. So you can understand so many things from this generative AI slide, to where we can first of all, for that generative AI, topmost priority is prompt engineering. So you have to get some understanding on prompt engineering, and then we'll go with this type of LLMs and other open source alternatives what we have. Um, you can use like use property versus open models. So what are the open models we have? So open models are few of the predefined models that we can integrate into our system, and we can go with basically Gen AI is very important for where you can create LLMs. We already talked about all the Gen AI essentials like neural networks, prompt engineering, machine learning. So these three or four things you can integrate into the generative AI. Okay. So anyone have any questions still here? No questions? Okay. I will take it as no. 1 second, guys. Yeah. Sorry for it. We can continue. And the final slide, final two slides we have. So this is on genetic AI. So we talked till about Gen AIs. So in what about a genetic AI? It is about agents. You know, there are so many agents in the current system. That agent, one of the best example I can say is the auto cleaning and mopping robot. You can see in the, maybe you can see it in the Flipkart or Amazon. So that's automatically clean the house. So that's a household purpose they have created. So this is like automatically, whenever it sees the dust, it will go and clean. Or whenever you can like you can put some times to it, in this time you have to clean. So it will clean automatically the entire room or entire house based on your provided inputs. So this agent will automatically do all the things without, you can give only one input and it will do some multiple outputs. It's not like GPT models will provide you one question, one answer, and it will ask, like in the end, it will say that if you have any questions, you can ask, you can continuously ask on some other questions. So based on those questions, it will respond to you. But coming to the agents, these are automatically do some most of the works when you have give one input to it. So these are the genetic models where we can develop agents using a genetic model where we can go with Auto GPT, Agent GPT. So these are the exploration what we will do, and LangChain agents. So LangChain is a powerful framework where it is useful for integrate the tools, memories, and reasoning capabilities of complex workflows. So this is we can go with just an overview of LangChain agents, and also we already understand the natural language commands, so NLPs, neural networks. In the neural networks level, we understand the natural language commands, so how you are giving the natural commands to it, and the agent can be do all these things. So we have to understand access multiple tools and APIs, how the APIs and how it is accessing the multiple tools and all. So these are the things where we can do it in the DKA. So this is the agents, and finally, what is the things we can provide you after the course? So that interview preparations, and we can build the resumes, we can build portfolios, and we can prepare you on the technical interviews. So what are the MLs? Like if it is for ML ops, so machine learning operations. So that's a different story, and uh, based on the requirement or based on the current rules, so you can go with the technical interview preparations, and we can take the mock interviews and case studies and discussions. So we can discuss more technically, like not a theoretical part. We can go with more practical things, to where we can discuss on different type of real world scenarios, and we can discuss so many real world cases, and we can finally get some conclusion for it. And for every module we can um, create one MCQs or something, like it's a kind of understandability what you achieved with this particular module. So module wise we can do some basic understanding, and module wise also you can do some one kind of a project where you can develop using the techniques what you have learned. So yeah, so that's it on this level. And also we can have one more thing, that we can go with the Power BI dashboards, where we can I haven't included that in the slide, but yeah, we can also understand the Power BI dashboard. So how it is developing those dashboards once we completed the data pre-processing. So once we completed the data pre-process, we can finally will do these will do that particular Power BI dashboards. So the dashboards will be very useful insights. So that will be useful for the clients, so where they can put more time to improve their system. So we can, like any of the data you have collected. So any of the data you have collected for the clients. So maybe it's have the products, maybe it have the timeline series. So based on that, you can finally come to a conclusion that what we can do from this. Okay, so that's another thing. So yeah, so do you have any questions? So these are the tools. I just give you an overview. This is the Wika. So this is developed by University of Hamilton, New Zealand. So here you can explore and you can enter into the exploration. You can just select the file. So quickly, I will select one file and I will show you. So this is a diabetes data set. So where it is already cleaned and cleansed. So it's the data pre-process is completed. So you can see the pre-process tab here. And once you enter it into the classify, you can select a different type of algorithms from here. So yeah, as I told you, first you can go with low code, no code environment. You can understand something, and then you can apply the same things via scikit-learn, TensorFlow, Keras, and other modules. So here you can select the random forest, and if you start, so yeah, so correctly classified instances is 75%. So that means it will provide you the, that means now the data set is correctly providing 75% correctly classified instances, and incorrectly is 24%. So you have to improve. So for that, you can provide a train test split, supply test set you have. If you have, we'll come to cross validation. What is cross validation and percentage of split, how you are splitting. Use training set. So if you have the training set, you can use it. So for example, percentage split, I have mentioned this 80, so it is giving 79% now. It's better. It's improved. Previously it is giving 75, and now it is giving 79 if I split it into 80% instead of using cross validations. So previously I have used cross validation 10, like it's 10 folds, so it's provided me 75%. So this is one of the tool. We can explore much in this Weka. Yeah. So do you have any questions?